Dear spectators of the human tragedy, in the shadows where the light dares not tread, I dwell. I am the architect of my own prison, crafting walls from whispers and chains from lies. Each deception, a delicate thread, woven into a tapestry of falsehoods that glimmers with the allure of power. It begins so innocently, a harmless fib, a slight twist of the truth. But like a spider spinning its web, every small lie births new strands, thickening the net that ensnares me. The irony is rich, isn't it? The more I spin, the more I believe I am in control. I dance on the precipice of my creation, reveling in the power I wield. But what is power without respect? What is control when it comes at the cost of my own soul? The web is beautiful, shimmering with the promise of dominance. Yet, with every thread I add, I find myself entangled deeper in my own design. I am both the hunter and the hunted, a puppet master whose strings are frayed and tangled. As I stand amidst this intricate trap, I am forced to confront the truth that I have buried beneath layers of deceit. I am trapped. My own lies have become my shackles, binding me to a reality I no longer recognize. The mirror reflects a figure cloaked in shadows, a specter of the man I once aspired to be. There is no escape from this prison of my making, no door to freedom. The very web I spun to ensnare others now grips me tighter, suffocating me with its sticky strands. Pride and ambition once danced in my veins, intoxicating me with their seductive whispers. They promised me the world, the adoration of those around me, the thrill of supremacy. Yet, in my pursuit, I lost sight of the cost. Each lie I told, each truth I twisted, chipped away at the essence of who I am. I built a fortress, but with every brick, I constructed my own tomb. Isolation creeps in like a thief in the night. I find myself surrounded by faces that once bore warmth and camaraderie, now twisted into masks of distrust and betrayal. Allies become adversaries, friends morph into shadows. I reach out, yearning for connection, but my hands grasp only air. The silence is deafening, a cacophony of memories that taunt me with what I have lost. Loneliness is my constant companion, a heavy cloak that weighs upon my shoulders. I am the king of a desolate empire, ruling over a realm devoid of genuine bonds. I wear my crown of lies, yet beneath its glittering facade lies the truth, a heart that aches for connection, trapped in a cycle of deceit. How ironic it is to be so close to the world, yet feel so profoundly alone. The web I spun to ensnare others has ensnared me. I thought I was the spider, but I am merely the fly caught in my own trap. As I reflect on this dismal existence, the realization settles in like a cold fog. I am my own jailer, locking myself away with every lie that escapes my lips. The power I craved, the respect I sought, has turned into a curse. The darkness I once embraced now envelopes me, and I am left to ponder if true strength lies not in deceit but in honesty. In this shadowy realm, I stand at a crossroads. Will I continue weaving my web of lies, or will I dare to cut the threads and face the truth? The choice lies before me, heavy as the silence that surrounds. The web is sticky, but perhaps, just perhaps, I can find a way to free myself from its grasp. Ambition is a dark flame, flickering in the hollow chambers of my heart. It whispers promises of greatness, seducing me with visions of power that dance like shadows just out of reach. In the beginning, it felt like a spark igniting a fire within, a fire that would consume everything in its path, including me. I chased that glow, intoxicated by the idea of control, blinded by the allure of dominance. Each act of deceit, a step deeper into the abyss, where morality faded like a distant memory. The hunger for power is a beast, and I, its willing prey. I crafted my lies with precision, each one a stepping stone on the path to my throne. Small lies morphed into grand illusions, a symphony of falsehoods that echoed through the corridors of my mind. Each success, a note in a twisted melody that played on repeat, drowning out the whispers of my conscience. I stood taller with every deception, yet with each triumph, the weight of my soul grew heavier. Pride wrapped around me like a serpent, squeezing the breath from my lungs. I reveled in my achievements, celebrating my victories without a thought for the cost. Morality was but a relic of the past, discarded in favor of a ruthless pursuit. Power became my drug, and I was its most devoted addict. The more I acquired, the more I craved, spiraling deeper into a void that promised nothing but emptiness. I was the maestro of my own demise, orchestrating a symphony of lies that played louder than the truth. Then came the moment, the first taste of success, sweet and intoxicating. I stood on that precipice, looking down at the world below, and I felt invincible. The thrill surged through me, a rush that drowned out the nagging doubts. I had beaten the odds, manipulated the game, and emerged victorious. But victory, like a mirage, is fleeting. As I basked in the glow of my accomplishments, a chilling realization crept in. What I had gained was a fleeting mirage, a facade built on crumbling foundations. Ambition had blinded me, casting a veil over the consequences of my actions. I was a moth drawn to the flame, unaware of the inevitable burn. The thrill of power dulled my senses, numbing me to the destruction left in my wake. Friends faded into distant memories, trust shattered like glass beneath my feet. I was untouchable, or so I thought, until the very threads of my web began to unravel. Each lie I told not only trapped others but ensnared me in a cycle I could not escape. Isolation tightened its grip, and I found myself in a kingdom of shadows. The faces that once cheered my name now turned away, their eyes filled with distrust. I had become a pariah, a king with no subjects, ruling over a desolate realm of my own design. I longed for connection, but my heart was a fortress, fortified by the very lies that had brought me to this dark place. The irony is rich, surrounded by a sea of people, yet drowning in solitude, every desperate reach met with cold indifference. The emptiness gnawed at me, a constant reminder of the price of ambition. I had sacrificed more than I realized: relationships, trust, a sense of belonging. The darkness I once embraced now loomed large, and I was left to confront the ruins of my ambition. In my pursuit of greatness, I had become the architect of my own isolation, a master of deceit whose greatest deception was convincing myself that power could fill the void. Now, as I stand amid the wreckage, I wonder, what remains when the smoke clears? The allure of ambition fades, leaving behind a stark reality. Time is a relentless judge, revealing the true cost of my choices. In this dance with shadows, I must confront the haunting question: can power ever be genuine when built on a foundation of lies? The darkness is thick, but perhaps within it lies the clarity I seek. The choice is mine, to continue down this path of deceit or to confront the truth that could lead me to redemption. Loneliness is a heavy cloak, draped over the shoulders of my soul like a shroud. Each lie I spun, once a thread of control, now weaves a tapestry of isolation that binds me tighter with every passing moment. I stand in a crowd, yet the laughter that fills the air feels like echoes from another world, a world I used to belong to, where trust was not a currency I traded for power. Now, I am a ghost among the living, haunting the very spaces where warmth and connection once thrived. The faces that once lit up at my presence have turned shadowed, their eyes reflecting a mistrust I cultivated with every deceitful breath. Allies became adversaries, their smiles painted with the brush of betrayal, each glance a reminder of the bridges I burned in my relentless climb. I yearned for connection, for a hand to grasp in the darkness, but the fortress I erected around my heart stood tall and impenetrable. I pushed them away, and in that push, I lost myself. Surrounded by the noise of life, I find myself in a desolate silence, a cacophony of loneliness that drowns out the world. It's a cruel irony, a king in a kingdom of shadows, ruling over a realm built on the ashes of trust. My power, once intoxicating, now feels like chains, binding me to this emptiness. I am held captive by my own ambitions, a prisoner of the very lies that promised liberation. Each moment spent in solitude is a knife twisting deeper, reminding me that I am my own executioner. The internal conflict roils within me, a tempest of longing and fear. I crave the warmth of companionship, yet I push away anyone who dares to get close. It's a dance of desperation, where every step I take leads me further into the abyss. I look into the faces of those around me, searching for a glimmer of understanding, but all I see are reflections of my own despair. I am a solitary figure, a dark silhouette against the vibrant canvas of life, watching as others connect while I remain forever out of reach. Memories of lost connections haunt me like phantoms, whispering sweet nothings of what could have been. Laughter shared over drinks, secrets exchanged in the twilight, it all feels like fragments of a dream, slipping through my fingers like sand. I sacrificed those moments for the illusion of power, and now I stand amidst the ruins, the echoes of joy replaced by the silence of regret. The laughter that once filled the air is now a cruel reminder of my choices, a melody turned into a dirge. In this sprawling emptiness, I come face to face with the weight of my solitude. I built this prison, brick by deceitful brick, and now it towers above me, a monument to my ambition. The darkness I once embraced now wraps around me like a vice, squeezing the very life from my soul. I am vulnerable, exposed in my isolation, stripped of the very armor I thought would protect me. The power I sought has become a burden, and I am left to bear its weight alone. As I reflect on this profound loneliness, I realize that the greatest cost of my ambition is not the power I sought, but the connections I shattered. I am not just a master of deceit, I am a master of my own demise, a puppet dancing on strings of my own making. The realization hits like a thunderclap. Each lie I told not only shattered trust, but also carved a deeper chasm in my heart. I am trapped, ensnared in the web I spun, a web that was meant to ensnare others, but ultimately ensnared me. The question that lingers in the air is haunting. At what point does the desire for power become the prison of isolation? In this dark reflection, I find a glimmer of truth. The strength I seek may not lie in the shadows, but in the light of honesty. Yet, to grasp that light, I must confront the darkness I have embraced. The road ahead is uncertain, but perhaps in this solitude, I can find the strength to tear down the walls and reclaim the connections I so carelessly discarded. Power, what a seductive beast it is. It whispers sweet promises, luring the hungry heart with the illusion of greatness. Yet, as I stand at the precipice of my own ambition, I cannot help but feel the jagged edges of the price I've paid. Each step I took toward the summit was paved with the bones of integrity, and now I am left to sift through the ashes of what could have been. In pursuit of that elusive crown, I sacrificed everything. The small moments, the laughter shared over a simple meal, the trust that lingered like a warm embrace, became mere stepping stones on my way to the throne. I thought I was the master of my fate, the architect of my own destiny, but in truth, I was merely a puppet, jerking at the strings of my own making. Every choice carved deeper into my soul, a cruel reminder that ambition demands a toll far greater than anticipated. Those key moments where I chose ambition over integrity stand out like scars on my conscience. I can still see their faces, the ones I betrayed, the ones I discarded for a fleeting taste of success. Their eyes, once filled with admiration, now mirror my own reflection of despair. What is power if it leaves me hollowed out, a shell of who I once was? The success I chased was a charade, veiled in the illusion of respect, but underneath, it crumbled into a sea of desolation. The toll of maintaining this facade weighs heavily upon me. I wear my mask with the precision of a craftsman, but the seams are fraying, revealing the chaos beneath. Each day is a battle against the darkness that lurks within, whispering that I am unworthy of the throne I've claimed. I walk among my peers, the facade of confidence shielding the vulnerability that festers beneath. They see a figure of success, but inside, I scream for the truth that lies buried beneath layers of deceit. Success, I've learned, is a mirage, a shimmering oasis in a barren desert. The applause that once filled my ears now echoes hollowly in my mind, a haunting melody of emptiness. The accolades I amassed were mere tokens of a game I played, not the validation I sought. What was once a glimmer of hope has turned into a heavy burden, dragging me into a pit of despair. I've climbed this ladder, but each run has cost me more than I bargained for. It has cost me the very essence of my humanity. As I grapple with this realization, I must confront the dissonance between perception and reality. The world sees my success, a shining beacon of ambition, while I live in the shadows of my own creation, shackled by the chains of my choices. The time has come for reckoning, a moment where I must acknowledge the price I've paid for this hollow victory. I ask myself, is this what I truly wanted? Did I trade the warmth of connection for the cold steel of ambition? In the quiet moments, when the world retreats and I am left alone with my thoughts, I feel the weight of my solitude bearing down on me. I am surrounded by accolades, yet I stand alone in a crowd of strangers. The laughter I once reveled in has morphed into a distant memory, a reminder of the connections I severed in my relentless pursuit. I can almost hear their voices, fading echoes of camaraderie that now seem like cruel taunts. The cost of climbing the ladder is steep, and I am left to bear its burden. Each lie, each betrayal, has etched a mark upon my soul, a reminder that power without integrity is a fleeting shadow. I am left to ponder the true nature of success, as I question whether it can ever be meaningful when built on the ruins of trust. In this dark abyss, where ambition and despair intertwine, I must find a way to confront the consequences of my actions. Perhaps there lies a lesson in this darkness, an opportunity to rise from the ashes of my ambition. If I can muster the courage to face the truth of my choices, maybe I can begin to dismantle the prison I have built. The path to redemption is fraught with challenges, but it is a path I must walk if I wish to reclaim my soul from the clutches of deceit. I may have climbed high, but it is time to descend, to seek the connections I so carelessly cast aside, and to find strength in the vulnerability I have long denied. In the stillness of the night, shadows dance around me like phantoms of the past, whispering secrets of the connections I once cherished. How curious it is that in a world teeming with faces, I find myself ensnared in the chains of isolation. Each smile I wielded as a weapon, each word laced with deceit, has built a fortress of solitude that now imprisons me. I stand on the precipice of my own creation, peering into the abyss of my own heart, where echoes of laughter have become distant memories, fading like smoke in the wind. The burden of isolation weighs heavy, pressing down with the force of 1,000 regrets. I can feel it in my bones, a cold reminder that the price of power is often loneliness. The allies I once had, the ones who cheered my every victory, have turned into specters of betrayal. Trust, that delicate thread, has frayed beyond repair, leaving me clutching at the remnants of relationships I sacrificed on the altar of ambition. What a cruel twist of fate it is, to be surrounded by people yet feel the chill of profound loneliness gnawing at my soul. I remember the warmth of camaraderie, the thrill of shared dreams, but now those moments haunt me, specters whispering of what could have been. The irony of my situation is suffocating. I am a king without a court, a ruler of a kingdom built on lies, yet utterly alone. Each time I reach out, I am met with the cold, unyielding walls of my own making. I crafted this isolation with my own hands, and now, it wraps around me like a shroud, suffocating in absolute. In this solitude, I have become my own jailer, locked away in a cell of my own design. The silence is deafening, filled only with the echoes of my thoughts that spiral into madness. I seek solace in the darkness that surrounds me, believing it to be a refuge, but it only amplifies the emptiness within. The darkness is seductive, It promises strength, yet it delivers only despair. I am caught in a relentless cycle, yearning for connection while pushing everyone away with the very lies that once fueled my rise. The memories of lost connections cling to me like shadows, haunting my every waking moment. Faces flash before my eyes, familiar, warm, and inviting, now replaced by the cold glint of betrayal. I can almost hear their laughter, the camaraderie that once enveloped me like a comforting blanket, now stripped away, leaving me exposed and vulnerable. In this void, I confront the reality of my existence. I am the architect of my own desolation, the creator of a solitary prison forged from deceit. Strength, I once believed, came from power and control. But now, I see it clearly. The true strength lies in vulnerability, in the willingness to face the truth of my actions. I have built a facade so strong that I forgot the warmth of genuine connection. It is a bitter pill to swallow, realizing that the very ambition that propelled me forward has become the anchor dragging me into the depths of despair. I am left to ponder the weight of this solitude, the heavy chains that bind me to a fate of my own making. I must confront the darkness that I have cultivated, for only then can I begin to dismantle the walls I have erected. There is a twisted justice in time's passage, a slow unraveling of the threads of deceit that once bound me. Perhaps, as I stand in this chasm of solitude, I can find the strength to reach out, to seek the connections I've so carelessly severed. There lies a flicker of hope, a chance for redemption in the ashes of my ambition. In this moment of clarity, I understand that I am both the prisoner and the keyholder of my fate. If I wish to reclaim my humanity, I must confront the darkness within and acknowledge the loneliness that has become my constant companion. It is time to seek the light that can only come from truth, to embrace the vulnerability that I have long denied. In the weight of my solitude, I may just find the strength to rise from the ashes, to reconnect with the world I have forsaken, and to weave a new narrative, one built not on lies, but on the fragile yet powerful threads of honesty and connection. In the catacombs of my mind, where shadows twist and coil like serpents in the dark, I find myself ensnared in a relentless cycle. Power, once a tantalizing elixir, now lays before me as a hollow relic, gleaming with the promise of supremacy yet devoid of substance. Each triumph, once celebrated, now rings with a hollow echo, a reminder of the emptiness that festers beneath the surface. The world I built on lies stands as a monument to my ambition, yet within its walls, despair lurks like a thief in the night, waiting to claim its due. This dance of power is a cruel jest, a game played with shifting rules. I've ascended the ladder, each rung forged from deceit, and with every step, pride has bloomed like a toxic flower, intoxicating yet lethal. I have wielded lies like weapons, each one a shard of glass cutting deeper into the fabric of my soul. The more I grasped for control, the more I felt the ground shift beneath my feet, a fragile illusion collapsing under its own weight. Power, I've discovered, is not a throne but a tightrope stretched over an abyss, and with every falsehood, I teeter closer to the edge. Pride feeds this cycle, a ravenous beast that demands tribute. It whispers sweet nothings, seducing me to forsake morality for the sake of ambition. I recall moments where I stood at crossroads, choices laid bare like a feast, and I chose the path draped in gilded lies. In those fleeting seconds of triumph, morality became a distant echo, drowned out by the roar of my own ambition. Each success, a fleeting flame, burned brightly for an instant before flickering out, leaving behind the ash of regret. As I reflect, I realize the irony. While I sought to climb higher, I was shackled by the very deceit that propelled me forward. The world around me, a stage where I played the lead, became a mirror reflecting the hollowness of my victories. I wore a mask crafted from my own fabrications, pretending to be the master of my fate, while the truth lay buried beneath layers of pretense. What use is power if it comes at the cost of one's very essence? The emptiness of my conquests gnaws at me, a constant reminder that true strength is not found in domination but in authenticity. Society, too, dances to this twisted tune. We navigate a landscape where lies are currency, and trust is a commodity traded for fleeting gains. In this world, I see reflections of my own struggle, others caught in the same cycle of ambition and despair, their eyes glazed with the hunger for power. Every interaction becomes a transaction, every relationship tinged with suspicion. How can one find solace in a world built on fragile foundations? The truth is an elusive specter, a ghost haunting the halls of our ambitions, reminding us that a life lived in deceit is a life half-lived. In each encounter, the cycle feeds upon itself. The more I deceive, the more I push others away, and in their absence, I find myself suffocating in the void. The laughter that once filled my life now echoes with the bitterness of betrayal, reverberating through the chambers of my heart. I stand amidst the ruins of my ambitions, a solitary figure cloaked in shadows, pondering whether true power can exist without the guiding light of honesty. The answer, like a distant star, remains obscured by the clouds of my own making. Yet, in this darkness, I sense a flicker of clarity. Time, the relentless judge, strips away the layers of deception, revealing the raw, unadulterated truth beneath. It teaches that the cycle can be broken, that power need not come at the cost of one's soul. In the depths of despair, I find the seeds of resilience. Perhaps the true strength lies not in the facade I've built, but in the courage to dismantle it. The moment has come to confront the darkness that I've nurtured, to seek redemption in the honesty I've long shunned. As I traverse this precarious path, the cycle of power and despair reveals itself not as a chain but as a journey towards the light. There lies a chance to reclaim my humanity, to forge connections not through deceit but through the fragile yet powerful threads of truth. In this reckoning, I may rise from the shadows, not as a king of lies but as a seeker of redemption, ready to embrace the world I once forsook. The darkness may have been my home, but it does not have to be my destiny. In the abyss where shadows conspire, strength emerges like a phoenix from the ashes of despair. It is in the darkest corners of our souls, where light dares not tread, that true resilience is born. There, amidst the rubble of shattered dreams and broken trust, I uncover the fragments of my identity, piecing together a reality forged not from lies but from the bitter truth that lingers like smoke in the air. Each inhale brings a sting, yet it is a reminder of life, of the power that lies dormant within the chaos. Clarity comes in waves, crashing against the shores of my consciousness, eroding the facade I've built. I once believed that power was an unyielding fortress, but now I see it as a fragile bubble, ready to burst at the slightest touch. The chaos around me, once overwhelming, now reveals its patterns, like constellations in a darkened sky. In the swirling storm of my thoughts, I find moments of stillness, where the noise fades, and I can hear the truth whispering, soft yet insistent, urging me to rise above the ashes. Time, that relentless judge, possesses the uncanny ability to strip away the illusions we hold dear. It unveils the truth, a cold but necessary revelation. With each tick of the clock, I feel the weight of my choices pressing down like an anchor, yet I also sense the possibility of liberation. The hands of time do not simply measure moments, they carve the path to redemption. As I stand at this crossroads, I realize the power I sought is not the power I need. It is the strength to confront my past, to acknowledge the darkness that has shaped me, and to embrace it as a part of my journey. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. It demands a reckoning with the self, a confrontation with the web of deceit that once felt so comforting. The strands that held me captive now serve as reminders of the choices I made. Each lie, each betrayal, has woven a tapestry of sorrow, yet within that same fabric lies the potential for growth. I call upon the audience to reflect on their own webs of deceit, to ask themselves, what truths have been buried beneath layers of pretense? What strength lies dormant in the shadows? In this moment of clarity, I understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a profound source of strength. It is the rawness of emotion, the willingness to face the darkness within, that leads to authentic connections. I have long danced with my demons, but now I seek to understand them, to learn from them. The weight of solitude I once carried transforms into a shield, a testament to my survival. I am not merely a product of my choices, I am the architect of my rebirth. As I step into this new light, the haunting memories of lost connections become lessons rather than chains. The faces of those I pushed away linger in my mind, but instead of regret, I feel a surge of resolve. Every loss has taught me the value of honesty, the currency of true relationships. In the emptiness that once consumed me, I find space for growth, for rebuilding what was lost. I will not shy away from the scars. They are a testament to battles fought and survived. Redemption is a path paved with intention and action. It is not an escape from the darkness, but a journey through it. I urge those who listen to embrace their own darkness, to find strength in the shadows, and to redefine their narratives. The world may be rife with deceit, but within it lies the potential for genuine connection, for shared truths that bind us. In this shared vulnerability, we can dismantle the webs we've spun and emerge as warriors of authenticity. In the depths of my solitude, I finally grasp the profound truth: I am my own jailer, yet I also hold the key to my release. The chains of my past, forged from ambition and pride, no longer bind me. Instead, they become a map leading me toward the light, toward a future where strength is measured not by dominance but by the courage to be honest. It is time to rise from the darkness, not as a master of lies, but as a seeker of truth, ready to confront the world anew. Share this message if you believe that true strength is forged in the shadows and that resilience can rise from the ashes of despair. Leave a comment about a moment when you confronted your own darkness and emerged stronger. Subscribe for more raw reflections that challenge the status quo and inspire you to embrace the chaos within. Remember, it's not about escaping the darkness, it's about owning it and using it as fuel for your journey.